Hello. Thank you for listening to and watching You Had Options. This episode, I have Ian, the Punk Cellist, on here. Great talk with him. It was interesting to hear how he got into playing the cello, how he got into playing the punk cello. Yeah, great talk. Be on the lookout for what's next for Ian. We talk about maybe a release in the future. Yeah, great conversation. Make sure you go and follow Ian. It is at the Punk Cellist, and cellist is spelled Cellist, like cellist, but it's cellist. Make sure you go find You Had Options at You Had Options on Instagram. All that good stuff. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Enjoy. Hello. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. Really stoked to be here.
Yeah. I think most people know you as the Punk Cellist.
Yeah, I would say. Or Ian.
Yeah.
Or the Punk Cellist. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I imagine people like your family calls you Ian. You're walking down the street, it's Ian. It's not the Punk Cellist.
No, but you're right. You're
Yeah.
right.
How long? How long has the Punk Cellist been a thing?
Since like late 2019, early 2020, I was really like, let's do this.
So it was pre-COVID, and then you started putting up videos during COVID.
Yeah, a lot of free time once that happened, and yeah, it just kind of like I was able to do all my recordings that I have up on like YouTube and Patreon and stuff. That was a lot of it was 2020 and 2021, a little bit of 2022, and then I was working again, so a lot of time was spent just at work instead of being able to record, which sucked. But
you went to Berkeley, so you're
I did.
classically trained cellist.
Yeah, I did the whole classical, like just in school,
Yeah.
learning like um, how to play through elementary school all the way up, and then uh, was a part of some really cool programs. One of them in particular called RIPIO, which is Rhode Island Youth Philharmonic Youth Orchestra,
Okay.
and learned how to really play some classic, big symphony orchestra stuff, and then met bass player in my band that we played together in punk band, Half-Hearted Hero, for 13 years or 12 years.
Yeah.
With some other great guys, Anthony, Clinton, and AJ. And that's where I learned like punk. So yeah, the classical world, I was playing with Ripio, doing that type of symphony orchestra work. Also, they had a chamber orchestra, so did that too, and learned a lot of really great stuff from my teachers, especially Eugene Friesen from Berkeley. He was a great private instructor, great cellist himself. He's amazing. And so yeah, learned a lot of really important stuff. I'm surprised I didn't really like figure it out when I was at Berkeley. Like it took me a while. Like I went not the performance path at Berkeley, which is surprising. I went a different path. So
okay, what was the path you chose?
I chose I wanted to record and do that, like recording engineering, but
Yeah.
It was so popular you had to have like a 4.0 GPA just to even apply. for the masters or for the major. So instead, I had like a 3.4, 3.5, so I wasn't even considered.
Okay.
And so it's so stupid. And like, so then I decided something that I was really interested in as well was acoustics, um, architecture,
Mm.
how it has to do with sound.
Yeah.
Um, and so did that instead. I got my minor degree in acoustic and electronic engineering.
Ooh,
And
that's
so,
cool.
yeah,
So
I
like,
was going to go that path. Um, went back to engineering school in 2019, 2018, yeah, like 2019 to get like my calculus and
mm,
physics and stuff because Berkeley didn't have that. Um, oh, I tried teaching as well. Like I was an elementary music teacher for a year, and that was fun.
how
But
was that?
I had to go back. It was great. I had to go back and get my master's anyway,
Mm,
either in education or I was like, well, acoustics pays better, so
yeah.
I went
Can
that way.
so is it tough for you to walk into like a room and not be like, oh, we could put like a baffle here, or we can dampen this corner? Is that how your mind works whenever you walk in
It's
any room?
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the
What
time.
I like watching videos of, I forgot where it is, but like those like silent rooms where it's like you're kind of walking on like mesh and you're like suspended, and then there's
Mhm.
stuff underneath. There's like just the absence of noise.
Yeah, so right, those like cone, like basically they put you on mesh so
Yeah.
that they can put the same kind of cones underneath you that they do everywhere else in the room. So you're basically in the middle of the room,
Yeah.
right? And um, all those cones are super absorbent material, and so anything that emanates out of you does not come back. And
That's
so
so
that's
weird.
the absence of echo is basically like what the name of the chamber is called is anechoic,
Okay.
right? Without echo. So
Okay.
anechoic chamber.
So I imagine like at your like home studio recording area setup, do you have any like, not like that crazy, but do you have any like fun uh that
I'm
maybe
lucky.
other people wouldn't?
I wish. Like it's expensive. That's the one
Oh yeah.
problem. Treatment is expensive, but I have a little bit in here, but I do need to get more. So I'm like, I moved here last July, so it's been, a little bit of time still, but I was like, okay, let's try carpet, let's try a
Mm,
couch. Those things do absorb.
right.
So it's weird because like you can kind of hear a room and you can hear parts of a room too, right?
Mm,
Right now, because I have a nice big carpet,
yeah.
anything waist down doesn't come back up. I don't like I can't hear any echoes coming from the floor.
Yeah.
Right now you can see that corner right behind me
Yeah.
and then that whole line there where the wall meets the ceiling. That is a really hot spot that I need to
Mm.
treat.
Does it just drive you crazy? Is it like a telltale
I
heart?
don't like
You're
I don't like recording in here because I haven't treated it yet.
mm,
So that's something I got to do, definitely.
yeah.
I'm actually considering recording with someone else because I am really trying to push and do a full length
Mm,
album soon. I've said that for a while now, but again, part of it is because I've been like, all right, I don't have enough money to pay anybody, but I also don't have enough money to treat my room right now.
yeah.
Working through it.
Yeah, man, that's punk rock. That's how it goes. It's always like, I'm gonna do this fucking thing. I gotta figure out how I can do it with like no money.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to ask for like a Kickstarter or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it's just like, yeah.
Some people might not get it. They might be like, "What? Ian needs fucking cones in his room? What is this?"
Yeah, I would be like, help me record my project, and then like small fine print. Part of this is going toward recording treatment, acoustic treatment for his recording space.
Yeah.
Like that just sounds like a lot.
before school, before Berkeley, were you into like treatment stuff? Like that's a thing that interests me. Like I don't know if you could see like these little things behind me are just like
Yeah,
wood and old towels that I shoved in there.
that's perfect. Honestly, like yeah, if you just get a box together and then fill it with some kind of like absorbent, kind of heavier material,
Hmm.
then you have yourself a nice little bass trap or absorbent kind of panel. Which
Yeah.
I should MacGyver it. I'm not the biggest kind of like engineer. Well, not engineer. I would say a carpenter.
Yeah, I'm
But
not. Yeah, yeah. My
I gotta
hands. I got city hands. You know, from
city hands.
Jaws. Yeah, yeah. Made for counting money. Not. I don't like. Um. Oh yeah. How long? So you started playing cello in elementary school?
Yeah, fourth grade.
Damn. Is your family musically inclined?
Yeah. So my dad was a high school music teacher for 40 years, just retired,
Nice.
and my mom is the director of a theater locally. Um,
Oh, cool.
it's awesome. It's like a really nice venue. Actually, it's like a 1,200 seat venue where like we're near Cape Cod, so like if a big name isn't playing on the Cape, they'll play New Bedford. They'll play at the Zaire, and so like we've had like William Shatner, and we've had like Whose Line Is It Anyway,
Okay.
and then we've had like a lot of like the famous cover bands like Get the Lead Out,
Oh
Led
yeah.
Zeppelin, and I think there's a couple other like violin, like virtuoso violin players
Hmm.
that have come through that are on tour together. I think it's called Black Violin. They're really good.
Okay.
Uh, and they do more like hip hop type stuff. Um, and yeah, just like a lot of really cool stuff there. So really, the community here has been great. Like as far as arts goes, which when I moved here from because we grew up in Miami, so
Oh, okay.
yeah, community here is really great and just as full of art and all that stuff as Miami was because Miami's such a diverse culture down
Yeah.
there. So much good music and stuff like that happening down there. So um, we stayed until I was 10, so I got a little part of that, which was cool.
Nice. Yeah. Two Live Crew. I know them from Miami.
Two Live Crew, I don't know them.
It's a band in the USA, and they're old rap, 90s rap, very raunchy 90s rap.
Oh,
Uh,
okay,
yeah.
yeah.
Um, but like whenever you were growing up playing cello, did you have like Yo-Yo Ma posters and like, or were you looking up to people, or what was that like growing up playing cello?
I was listening to Green Day, and
Oh yeah,
actually, Hoobastank was my favorite band. Was
hell
my
yeah.
literally like they're self-titled, before like they got popular, before the
Mm,
Reason and stuff. Um, that self-titled album, listen, like I saw Crawling in the Dark on MTV,
mm.
like back in the day. I just watched MTV and like so it was them, and then Story of the Year, Green Day, Blink 182, um, Sum 41,
Yeah,
Reliant K, uh, Take It Back Sunday. Like
yeah.
that was my core.
Did you see the guy in Yellow Card, the violinist, and you were like, "Fuck, I can be punk too and play." You know,
What really kind of did it for me at first, like I almost quit in high school. I almost quit cello in high
cello,
school,
really?
and then I discovered Apocalyptica because I was
Okay.
like I was playing drums, I was playing cello. I'm sorry, I was playing drums with my best friend, and he played guitar. So we would like cover Metallica, Sum 41, Green
Oh
Day, all
yeah.
that stuff. Um, and I'm like, how do I get this
How do we?
with cello? And then
Yeah,
Apocalyptica showed me that like it's possible. So that was big for
yeah.
me. Like um, in eighth grade, we did Fade to Black my
Hell
cello
yeah.
section because we all loved him. We fell deeply in love with Apocalyptica,
Yeah.
and so even one of the violinists was cool enough. She was shredder, and she had an electric violin, so she did all the guitar solos
Yeah.
because I couldn't do it. I'm not that good, but like, yeah, it was great. It was so cool, and I was like, okay, but still, it did not connect the dots. I want to just play drums for a while. Like
Yeah.
we did like the Europe tour, we did a Japan tour in 2016. So we were doing things like that occupied my
Yeah.
musical kind of universe for a very long time. And then yeah, when we disbanded in 2019 because our singer moved to LA, then it was
Mm.
like, okay, what do I do now? Like, and I'm like, I want to arrange because I learned about arranging a lot at Berkeley, and so I wanted to arrange my favorite songs in a way in like the instrument that I have, like the
Right.
voice that I have. You know what I mean? Like, so I arranged all my favorite punk songs in my favorite voice, and that is really where like when the band started resharing my stuff,
Mm.
it was huge for validation. I was like, all right, I'm gonna keep going. You know, um,
Who was the first band that like
a Wilhelm scream.
Wilhelm Scream? Nice.
Yeah, because they're local buddies, so
Okay.
and they shred, so
Yeah.
it's just like it was great, and they shared it, and a lot of people who I became lifelong friends with ended up following me because of that post, like Emily Plamondon from um, Quebec. She's Punk Rockette. I don't know if you
Punk
know
rock.
her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we did a Propaganda cover together, and ever since then we've just been homies, you know. And that was I think because she followed me because of that video.
Yeah.
So like, and then you know, I then got a call from Ryan from Red City Radio, and he was like, "Do you want to come to Denver and do a live stream concert with us?" And so,
Damn.
you know, that was like hugely validating as well. Those guys were awesome.
Yeah.
I ended up doing another tour with Garrett, who's the singer of Red
Singer.
City
Yeah.
Radio, with his solo project. So yeah, again, just like this project has really connected me to some amazing people, and yeah, it's just been really like it, it feeds itself. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
so cool.
That's cool. So like when you're doing the arrangements, like I've always been impressed with people who can like I guess think in different like you said, like using voices or whatever, like think in
Mhm.
different voices of like different instruments. Like because I'm used to,
Right,
punk rock, like, oh, I'm playing bass, I'm playing whatever the guitarist is playing,
right, right.
Is that,
Yeah,
do you have to like compartmentalize when you're trying to think of arrangements and be like, oh, this is whatever the violin voice or the whatever instrument you're thinking of? Is that how that works?
I think of it like a chord, like a piano chord,
Mm,
kind of. Right. So, or a guitar chord, even.
yeah.
A lot of the time when I'm trying to arrange this stuff, I'll look at YouTube videos of guitar covers. It really helps.
Okay.
And so I can see what chord shapes they're playing because I can kind of like play guitar poorly, but like okay, and it I can at least understand what's going on, sort of,
Yeah.
right? So when I see that, it gives me the voicings. Um, Sometimes I have to listen, and it takes me forever if I have to try and listen to a recording and really pick out those voices.
Hmm.
Um, but I'll just three or four because I usually stack the four videos.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's mostly four voices. Sometimes I add other layers just to fill it out, make it sound more full. But usually it's just stacking chords like on the
Right.
piano. Really,
Was
that's the best way to think about it.
was there a cover that you're trying to work out and you're just like, fuck, this is just not working?
Yeah, I mean that's a big part of it. I think really right now my biggest challenge is "The King Is Dead" by Wilhelm Scream,
Okay.
just for purely getting the voicings right
Mm,
and making it sound convincing and not repetitive.
yeah.
Um, Yeah, and then screaming stuff, I can't really figure out. Like songs with screaming vocals that I love and I want to cover. I'm like,
Yeah.
how do I, what do I do? So sometimes, really, my question right now is, I was thinking about this today, recording wise only, because I like playing with a full band, like punk
Mm,
rock full band. And I also like playing with like a full orchestra. I think eventually I would like to do full orchestra covers
that'd
of
be
this
sick.
stuff. Like maybe not, I mean, full string orchestra, because
Yeah.
I'm not really good at arranging for. Maybe I'd have to get Jer. I could get
Oh
them
yeah.
to help me arrange for. Uh, you know, we'll hire them or something like that eventually to do
Yeah.
full orchestra shit. But yeah. So for now, I'd probably just do string orchestra covers as the other side of it. But back to my point, for recording wise only, I don't really know if the full band is going to hit as hard as just me doing the full classical
Mm,
arrangements, right? Fully classical, nothing else. Because my idea for this album is doing half acoustic, or almost half acoustic, half full band
yeah.
with electric cello,
Yeah.
right? So kind of pump up the second half. But again, it's convincing if it's done live, but how would that translate uh, on record? I don't know.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
play all the instruments and like I mean maybe I'll have a guitar player for harder parts,
Yeah.
but because I can do bass, that's fine. I can play hard bass parts. Like I can play Everything Sucks, which I think is a pretty hard bass
Yeah. That's a
song.
wild bass song. Yeah.
He's going all over the place. Um, but for guitar, I'm just not. I don't think I'm that quick. You know what I mean? Like
I
guitar
feel
players are
you.
quick, and
Yeah.
yeah. So, anyways, um, yeah, I'm still thinking about it. We'll see. I would maybe like to do a demo or like a pre-production run
Yeah.
of a full band recording of me doing everything and
So,
see if it sounds convincing to me. If I'm like, all right, let's do this, then
right.
sure.
So the album would be all covers, or would there be original arrangements?
Yeah, I don't have anything really. I mean, I'm actually considering Sunday first band practice for a heavy band.
Oh.
Yeah,
Uh,
like drummer friend of mine who
yeah.
plays actually in jazz orchestra that my dad plays in. Um, we were chatting, and I was like, "So, what kind of music do you listen to?" And we listened to like the same heavy bands, like Jesus Piece and Zulu,
Okay.
um, Knocked Loose. Uh, so we were like, well, we should just have some fun, and just do that. So we're gonna try it. Got a bass player and maybe another guitar player, and I might do vocals, which is gonna be fun.
Okay. So no cello, or you
No cello.
no cello.
No.
Okay.
Maybe
This is
like, maybe we can do some like ethereal
yeah. Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
but yeah, like I miss just playing in a band, like lead. Well, I
God.
don't know. I've never been lead singer. I've always been drummer, but like that would be cool. Maybe playing some because I got a baritone guitar just for
Nice.
fun, just to
Yeah.
fuck with it, and like yeah, like it's just fun. I've always New Bedford is a huge hardcore community, and so I would love to feed that if I could.
Yeah. How like so how so I live in Alabama. Um.
Okay,
So how far from Boston is like Cape Cod?
if you go down the coast, right, and then you eventually like start going through the like once you cross Cape Cod Canal, you're on Cape.
Okay.
And that's about 45 minutes from
Okay.
Boston, I would say, without traffic. If you were, which is like never. So probably like an
Yeah.
hour and a half sometimes. Um, from me, 25 minutes, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like New Bedford is about 25, 30 minutes from the Cape.
Yeah. Like
Down the, you got Boston up here and then the Cape. We're down here
okay. The
in the
tricep.
armpit.
Yeah. Yeah.
The drives. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
gotcha.
So,
So yeah, like that area is just Boston, New England is just like hardcore kind of not mecca might be a strong word, but just like,
For East Coast hardcore, I mean, you have like the
it's like,
tri-state area and
yeah,
then sort of Boston, but New Bedford had a lot of kind of bleed over. There was a lot of hardcore shows at the YWCA in New Bedford for a while.
yeah,
And then when I started going to shows, it was 2006, 2007.
okay,
Um, and that was more metalcore at that point.
yeah,
But Have Heart was still big.
yeah,
Um, and they were local. And then who else was kind of big? Vanna was kind of big from around the area. The Casey Strain is from Worcester, so they were they're big around here. So that really got a lot of people want to do that, and I
yeah,
felt like my band was just this little pop punk band that played really fast and just did that
yeah,
in this sea of hardcore bands. Like we opened for Fana. I was like,
yeah.
what are we doing? I mean, this is awesome. I love them, but like we're not the same band. Like we're a completely different genre. No one's gonna like us. So it was funny.
Yeah, I think of like Bridge 9 and like those sort of in like the mid 2000, they're still
Yeah.
they're pretty
That was
huge
that
still.
that was huge. It was
Yeah.
so big. Yeah. And like I haven't even delved into like those those bands because I was total pop punk kid,
Yeah.
total um like skate punk, and then I listened to like a lot of the local favorites, but it was more like of the time instead of I didn't really go back too far. I definitely want to kind of dive into that stuff now that Spotify's a thing. It's so easy. You can just like,
Yeah.
oh, you're just thinking about it and you just go find it. Like it's right there. It's instant. So
Yeah, that was that was definitely like my wheelhouse of getting into going to shows because like in uh I grew up on the coast of Alabama, so near like the panhandle of Florida, and there's a lot of hardcore shows going on there, and there's a lot of like Bridge 9 bands would come through there, and so seeing those guys, look at through the lens of hindsight, there's some bad folks or whatever, but
yeah,
it was still what got me into live music and going to shows and shit. Um,
it's definitely the gateway, kind of right.
yeah.
That's that's what got me hooked. Playing at the the VFW hall and the
Oh yeah.
Cushnet American Legion, um, and just like just going wild. Like it was the best of times.
It was
And
the best of
then
times. Things were so
you
much
know
simpler. Yeah.
yeah, it really was. Um, I miss those times definitely.
Yeah.
And that's why I like, it's kind of coming back a little bit in New Bedford right now, which is
Okay.
cool. There's some venues that are opening up, and they're finally booking some cool shows, which never existed around here. Uh, the Zeiterian's getting a $30 million renovation, so the theater's opening a 100 cap bar and music venue
That's cool.
underneath the theater.
$30 million?
Yeah, to like renovate the whole theater,
Jesus.
and then they're putting some money away from that to open the Speakeasy, which is going to be the
Hmm.
downstairs like bar and little like 150 cap venue. So it's going to be really exciting. Like
That's cool.
that will help live music in a big way.
Yeah.
But even like Play Arcade, like we have a new bar arcade and they do live music multiple nights a week. They're just like they're cooking
Yeah.
like with their live entertainment. Um, so a lot of places are doing that now. I've kind of dialed into that in 2023. So I play a lot of like solo stuff with backing tracks
Okay.
just around here. It makes really good money. So it's like a great way to supplement my income.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Then
So
do you do weddings and stuff? Or like,
yeah.
yeah.
So I got like 10 or 15 booked for next year
Oh
already.
shit.
Yeah.
Do you get to let you get to pick the music, or are they like play these songs? Do you get any freedom there? Any wiggle room?
So I have a set list,
Yeah.
and then it's pretty wide too. I have full classical, full top 40, and then full punk set list. So like I can serve anybody, really.
Yeah.
And then with what you pay for my wedding, I will learn the three important songs. The three songs are when the family walks in, or like the bridal party walks
Hmm.
in, when the bride walks down the aisle, and then when they both walk back out.
Mm-hmm.
When the bride and groom, or bride, or
Whatever. Yeah.
groom and groom. I've had so many cool weddings. It's been so sick. Like a lot of people that are my clientele are like, "Can you play Blink 182 when we walk down the aisle?" And I'm like, "Fuck yeah, that's so cool."
What? Yeah. Is yeah. What's a crazy song that they've asked you like for
I've done
walking down the aisle?
Everlong by Foo Fighters.
Woo. Yeah. Yeah.
Great. Um, First Date as they walk out. That's been multiple times. That's a popular
That's a
one.
good one. Yeah.
Popular walkout song. What else? Oh, this is probably probably one of my favorite ones. Every Thug Needs a Lady by Alkaline
Alkaline Trio.
Trio
Yeah.
as the bride walks down the aisle. That
That's
was
pretty cool.
awesome. And then Clavicle
Mm-hmm.
by Alkaline Trio as the bride walks down the aisle. That was a really cool one. I didn't play that one, but they used a recording and then videotaped it and sent it and posted it on Reddit and stuff. So that was really cool.
Nice.
And then like during the cocktail hour, they can be like, yeah, go crazy, or like, oh, don't do any punk stuff. If I've had it all, it's cool. Like they pay me really well. It's fun. I get to travel. Like it's a cool little gig. I really don't mind it. And I've been playing weddings since high school, actually, because of my orchestra teacher. So
Okay.
there's like I know the infrastructure really well. So it's just like I hate to say it, but it's easy money. It really
Hell
is
yeah.
so
Well,
easy.
hey man, you're dialed into the wedding scene, is what it
Yeah,
sounds like.
yeah. It's blowing up right now too. I've been like trying to update my website and shit. So
Have
don't look at it yet.
Okay, I won't look at it.
Wait a little bit. I'll get
Uh,
it.
have you had any repeat? Have you done a wedding? They've gotten divorced, and then you've done the second marriage, or the third marriage, or the fourth marriage, whatever.
I started doing weddings like I don't know. Well, okay, yeah, a while ago, but like punk weddings and stuff where like the people are kind of my age. Not yet.
Hmm.
Um, I haven't had that happen yet, but I have had like, hey, you played my friend's wedding. Will you play mine?
Nice.
So that's pretty cool.
Have you tried to
That's sort of a
stop?
repeat customer, right? Because they were there
I
and
think,
they were like, "Yo,
yeah,
this is sick. I want this." And it's like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And you've never felt the need to stop any of the weddings whenever they're like, does anybody have any reason these two people shouldn't be married? You haven't.
I'd be like, dun, 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 dun. No, like I like
You
start
make it.
playing.
Yeah, you're doing. Yeah, you can. Yeah.
I'll add to the suspense at least. That would be
Oh
funny.
yeah, yeah. Scream. Do like the screech. Yeah. I like. Yeah, I was going through your YouTube, and I like
Oh, cool.
on some of the. I think whenever there's like a pick slide, you do a little like screechy cello thing. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah. That's actually I want to try and do like a YouTube series where I can do like techniques,
Mm.
classical techniques, in rock and alt and punk settings for cello, like or for any classical instrument that uses a bow, because really it's all coming from the bow.
Oh yeah.
And then yeah, you got the hand slide going down the string, but that's
How
that's normal.
much horsehair do you go through for your bow?
I rent right now, so I exchange it every like 4 to 6 months.
Mm.
I try at least. But anyways, I have therapy at 7, and I actually got to drive there physically, and it's
Okay.
about 20
We
minutes
can
away or
wrap this
so.
thing up, man.
So yeah, but yeah, therapy started this year. Lost my dog last year. It's been hard,
Sorry,
you
man.
know. Yeah, she was 14, so she had a great life, but she was like my little sister, and she got me through the pandemic. She really did.
I'm sorry.
So yeah, so been in therapy, and it's been great. Like, um, she, you know, the therapist that I have, she's just like, she's helping me open up my mind, like, to different kind of just avenues that I didn't ever like thought of during, you know, hard times, and like thinking about it in different ways. So
Yeah, that's it's important. The mind is a strange place, strange and
strange
beautiful
place
place.
sometimes. Beautiful
Yeah.
place, strange place, the most complicated place.
Yeah.
But
Cool. Well,
yeah,
we can wrap this guy up. Ian, you
cool.
had options, but you decided to talk to me. I appreciate it. Yeah, man, stay on for 1 second, but yeah, thank you.